Hey, what's going on? Wait, what's going on? Not Guilty Boys checking in live again. It's your boy Michael Campbell with my illustrious colleague, Mr. Andrew Wilkes, checking in
Yeah,
one time
man.
for the one time.
Happy to be here. Happy to be here, man. The other half of Not Guilty Boys.
We back again, man. We kind of raw at this thing, man. We doing it off the cusp, but man, we giving you the good raw data, good raw information. We appreciate y'all checking in with us on this, man. And y'all, man, we gonna get better as time go by, like fine wine.
Yeah. Ain't no stopping or stalling, man. You can't wait. You can't wait for the right time to do it or you'll never do it. You understand? That's biblical. That's biblical.
Right. So y'all bear with us as we work out the kinks. But a couple of things we want to holler at y'all about today. Starting out, man, Andrew, can you tell us, you know, I know we kind of touched on that last episode, but elaborate more on what made you become a lawyer.
As cliche as it sounds, man, I could always argue. Used to always have to defend myself. Used to always be in a position to feel like I had to defend other people. You know, always, I ain't gonna say I always wanted the last word, but I always felt like I had the smartest answer. All the cliche things you can think about, man. Me and my mama used to watch Law and Order every Tuesday. That old original Law and Order, not that SVU or that old other stuff y'all be watching these days. I'm talking about the original doom, you know what I'm saying? You know what it is when it come on.
Right,
Me and mama on the couch, you know, right before I go to bed. And I grew to love it, man, and got in a lot of trouble growing up and didn't have an attorney to defend myself. I'm sure you're aware of my situation, Mike. Maybe on another episode, another day, I can brief y'all on that. But the good Lord just paved this way, man, for me to be what I am today. And I ain't worked a day of my life yet, man. So happy to be here, happy to defend the destitute, like the Bible says, you know, and people that can't speak up for themselves. I love what I do, man, and that's a blessing in itself. What about you, Mike?
Yeah, I started, man, pretty young, kind of knowing I wanted to be a lawyer. I was pretty, man, I was pretty smart in school, man. I kind of picked up on things. And, they had those few careers at the top of the list, like being a doctor, lawyer, teacher, police officer. Man, I like to argue when I coming up. I argue my point to, I was blue in the face as a kid. That kind of helped streamline that. When I knew probably about 14, 15 that I wanted to be a lawyer, honestly. And my whole high school career, college career was tailored towards being a lawyer. Went to law school pretty early. I started law school at 21. Got
Nice.
my law degree at 24. I was practicing law at 25. So it was pretty early on in life. I knew I wanted to do this. I knew I wanted to help my people. I knew my people in the communities I grew up in, the people I went to school with, they need my help. I seen people go through the systems at young age. Some of my own kinfolk relatives go through the system, and they didn't have nobody standing in the gap for them to help them before some of the situations they went through in the system. But just, I knew I wanted to be a criminal defense lawyer when I was 15. I knew I wanted to be someone that helped, keep people from going down that road of from what they call it, the pipeline to prison. I wanted to be just, a caveat on helping, try to stop that pipeline to prison. After, practicing family law for a year or two, man, I just focused on playing criminal law and made that my niche. And it's been gold ever since. And then I met my boy YD. So let's talk about that, YD. And I call him YD. If you know Andrew, you know what we call him YD. That's another discussion for another time. But how did we come about, bro? You remember that call when you called me?
Ticket Court. I think it was Ticket Court, maybe Dalworthington Gardens. It was one of them courts we don't mess with no more.
Right.
Yeah. And just to let you know, Dalworthington Gardens, man, it's over there. Like off 20 after Cooper, but basically this is the type of city, right, you'll go to bond somebody out and they'll run the attorney's background. They'll run your background.
Come
And if
on,
you got warrants, they'll put you in jail.
come on there. I did that.
While you try to bond somebody out, they be
Come
done
on.
put your ass in jail. You feel
Come
me? So
on.
we said, you know, no more of that. You see what I'm saying? We'll let
Come
all
on.
the other attorneys have Dow Worthington. And what's the other one?
Pantigo. It's a
Pantigo.
few up. They all
Both
on
of
them.
them.
Why
Dow
do you
Worthington and
drive to
Pantigo.
them
They can
cities?
have that shit.
Yeah, you can drive right around them cities. You don't even need to go to them cities.
You need me to bond you out of Pantigo. I need $250 a ticket. $250. You know what I'm saying? Straight
you
up.
know, it's one of them situations.
Come on now.
But no,
But yeah, man.
I remember the call. When I saw you in Dow Worthington, one thing that stood out to me, bro, you was reading your Bible. That just stood out like I just knew you was a man of wisdom by doing that, a kingdom man. You know, that meant something to me. When you call me with a vision and say, "Hey, man, I think me and you can take over this criminal gang. We can start our trial law firm, and we can try criminal cases, murder cases, and we can be something in Texas." And bro, I've bought into the vision right away. Me and bro met up at Cheddar's. at Cheddar's
Yeah.
with the one eye. They sat us at all dinner.
Over there off 20, off what's that over there where the movies
What's
at?
that, Carrier Parkway?
Carrier
Yeah.
Parkway, yeah.
Everybody know that on Cheddar's over there. But
That's
yeah, we
crazy.
met up, like some, you know, just like it wasn't nothing too fancy. And that's what I liked about bro. He was down to earth, and we just meshed from the beginning. What I always tell people about Drew, you know, him being for Dallas, me being for Fort Worth, I feel like I'm the Fort Worth version of Drew. And Drew is like me in Dallas. You know, it's just like, you know, being, you know, the lawyers, being prominent in our communities, having a lot of respect for the people, you know, around us, you know, and being a family man, being a father, being a loving brother, uncle, you know, I relate to all of that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it was a match made in heaven, I thought, from the beginning.
Yeah, man. I mean, I remember that we one thing that's important, I remember we prayed about it, man, before we got incorporated, you know, and just asked the Lord to be the head of all of our cases on an individual basis. You know, one of my big aspirations for us that we still haven't brought to life yet, which just gives us space to grow, is, you know, we are trial attorneys. We trial attorneys at heart. You know, whenever the fullest extent of the law approaches us, which is a trial, right? We ain't gonna cut and run. That's what we do. That's what we're most comfortable. You know what I'm saying? But one of my aspirations was I wanted to try cases for big law firms. See, what people don't know is these law firms that you hear and see on TV and on the radio. Should I hit my echo thing, Trip? Echo cancellation? Y'all can't hear Trip, but I can. Okay. One thing that people don't know, man, is these people don't try cases. All right. What these people do is they build camaraderie. They build a reputation to where the insurance companies kind of don't want to deal with them. Now, and a lot of times that's good, but you know, whenever it get hot in that kitchen, you need somebody that can try that case in front of them 12 jurors, you see. What you don't know is most of the times insurance companies don't want to pay. Most of the times you got to take them all the way, you know, down through there. And that's why my aspiration is to, you know, get these big law firms with these big cases, maybe charge them a percentage of their percentage and really show them how to try some cases. Because what you don't know is you calling these people that's on the radio, but they, you know, when it get thick, they ain't gonna know what to do. They could write a letter, you know, they could draft up a demand letter or a petition, but when it's time to stand behind that petition, when it's time to prove what's in that petition, they don't know what to do. So, you know, that's just space for me and Mike to grow, but Mike didn't mention that we 14-0 in murder cases right now. And what we agreed to do was big high profile cases and also civil cases. That's what Wilkerson Camel is all about. Trying those types of cases. We have had a couple civil cases that we're on right now. Our first civil case, we got our client $1 million. I mean, that tell you how we moving out here. Our first civil case, we got our client $1 million. All right. And maybe we'll bring her on the show and let her tell y'all, how we put our thing down.
Right.
But
yeah,
yeah,
that's
man.
old John shot case, man. Our first one, a good case too. We got a couple of civil cases still on the line right now that we feel good about, but just kind of reiterating on something Drew said. Yeah, a lot of people think that attorneys are in court, standing on their feet, arguing before judges all the time, and that's just not the case. Yeah, some transactional lawyers. You have some lawyers who are afraid to go in the courtroom, and you have some lawyers who go in the courtroom and all they want to do is negotiate deals. They don't want to go to an adversarial situation like a trial. But zealous and fearless advocacy for your client means I can't be afraid of no trial, man. That's a part of the job. That's part of the job description. If it's time to strap up our boots and we got to go to battle, we're going to go to battle. And that's something I think anybody that knows Wilkinson and Campbell know that's what we're about. We go to battle for our clients. We believe in, and once we believe in you, we believe in your case, then, that passion can come out. And it's natural at that point for us to advocate for what's right and what's wrong. So yeah, I'm proud about that.
Yeah, and it's a lot of just like law school, a lot of people, it's almost like taking your electives first in college, right? You're taking different classes to see what you want to be. Since I got to law school, I mean, my entry letter was about being a trial attorney. While people were, trying to do this and that and brown nose and whatever it was they were doing, I was doing mock trial. I got best oral advocate at a region in the BOYZ competition twice. It's just always been on me, man, and been in me, man, to do that. You guys ought to really get out here and maybe just come sit, and that's how that we're confident in what we do. Before clients even pay us, we invite them to the trials we already got set. You want to see what you're paying for? Come see. Yeah. Come see. I mean, I ain't a car salesman. I can't tell you that the AC blows cool air. You see what I'm saying? Or it goes from 0 to 60 in 4 seconds. Come see. You see what I'm saying? And I don't know how many lawyers y'all know that do that, but we do that.
It's an open courtroom, man. It's always open to the public. February 3rd in Dallas County, 265th. The next one, come check us out. So moving along, man, Drew, it's a lot going on in the world, man. Just this week, Trump took over presidency. We had a change of power from Joe Biden, and now Donald Trump is now the president of the United States. And man, from what I see, he already did a whole bunch of moving and shaking, a lot of long-standing policies in this country. Let's talk about it, Ronnie. What you think?
Man, I think a lot. I think that right now it's time just to, for lack of better words, get in where you fit in, man. That's what it's time to do. Everything Trump do, damn sure ain't gonna be good. But everything Trump do ain't gonna be bad either. I know he's a white supremacist. I know all the obvious shit that y'all thinking about right now. I know that. But at some point, we as people gotta focus on what we can benefit from. Because he here for the next 4 years. It's over with. He here for the next 4 years. So you could either be down in the dumps and call this man a racist every time you see him, or you can learn about what he's implementing and see how he can benefit and impact you in a positive manner. I think it's going to be a lot of money to be made, but as far as him as a person, I think I'm wise enough to know that it don't matter how I feel about him as a person. That's my answer. But I do feel a way. You know what I'm saying? I think he signed 100 and something executive orders yesterday.
Man, he was moving and shaking. What did he do? He got rid of birthright citizenship. So what that means is if any illegal documented parents have a child in the United States, that child is no longer a citizen of the United States. That's still in the 14th Amendment, the Constitution. That's a L. That's something that the states have already sued Trump on. That's going to be going to the United States Supreme Court. I think he's going to lose on that one. I don't think he had that power to overwrite the Constitution. I know he got a lot of power in his hands right now, but overwriting the 14th Amendment, that's doing a lot. I think the Supreme Court, even a Supreme Court that's favorable to Trump, will tell him, no, we're not going to do that with Trump.
Yeah, I've always been down with the brown, you know. I love all people's a different color, man. All people of different colors. I think that's what makes America great, to be quite honest with you. And y'all know what I'm trying to say. You got us, right? You got that melanin, you got the Hispanics, you got the Asians, you got a stew pot. We a stew pot. And to take that characteristic away from America, I think is to decrease America. I don't know what's going on. I think maybe Mike's having some technical difficulties, but we're gonna talk you through this. Another thing Trump did, I believe, is the TikTok thing, right? 75. Yeah, he extended it for 75 days so he could see what he's going to do about it. All right. Now, one thing that I noticed, one thing that I think is important is when it was banned, 3 days ago, it was an uproar, straight up uproar. People are angry about this, angry about that. This is where I make my money. This was my side hustle. TikTok pays more than any other app. And the list goes on, right? Well, now that we have the knowledge that in 75 days, something is, there's a potential that could happen again. I think that we as people got to you got to be able to adjust, right? You got to be able to move with the wave or move with whatever's going on. So you guys might want to prepare for that app to be shut down. Maybe it won't be shut down. I don't know what that entails. What does that entail? Maybe moving it over to another app. Maybe moving your stuff over to Facebook or IG. I don't know. I don't really have, I have a TikTok, but if you go to my page, I ain't posted one video. So, I'm not actually I'm not the professional on that, but what I will tell you is that you guys may need to migrate your audience. You guys may need to at least let your audience know where to find you in the event that TikTok does go down. It's still rolling. If you can get back in. Trip, you there? Yeah, you disappeared, fam. This the first episode, y'all, so we just trying to navigate through this. But yeah, I was talking about the TikTok thing, Mike, basically telling boys to, kind of adjust, or you got to be able to move. Sheesh, you got to be able to move with the wave that's going on. So if it is moved, people need to prepare for that. I don't know if that involves them just letting the audience know where to find them. I don't know if that involves maybe creating a YouTube page and pointing them and directing them there. I don't know what it entails, but in 75 days, something gonna occur. Now, what's interesting about this to me is that the whole time Trump kind of played it like it was a national security thing going on. He kind of played it like, our information was at stake. China got all our information. It's a national security thing, and we need to keep an eye on this, whoop-de-whoop, whatever, right? It's funny because nobody really knows what whoop-de-whoop means, but you know what I mean. But now that he's extended it for 75 days, now he's trying to get his player partner to buy it. You see what I'm saying? He's trying to get old Elon Musk to buy it. I mean, what y'all got to realize is that there are plays being ran right under our noses. That ain't no play they ran yesterday. Or maybe it was. Maybe they were drinking out their $1,500 or $15,000 wine bottle and they came up with that. Who knows? But to me, I think this is all playing out just the way that they planned it, man. You got Zuckerberg in the picture. You got BOYZ in the picture. You got all the big money in the picture, man. Big money boys in the picture. You understand? So just watch what's going on, man, and try to benefit. That's the best we can do. We got to benefit. We ain't going to benefit much as them, but, I don't think it's a bad thing, but kind of I'm kind of leery about Musk, man. I don't know. I've been in my word a little bit, man, and I don't know if Buddy is Tony Stark or if he the Antichrist. So I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's something
That might be
eerie.
another conversation. You know what I'm saying? But just look at your revelation. You
Yeah, it's
understand?
something eerie about him, man. It's something eerie about him. Yeah, he did that weird sign the other day. I don't even know what that means. You know, it's just
Come on
something
now.
weird about him. You know, I don't know if you mentioned the pardons that Trump did of the
Nope.
Capitol rioters on January 6th. He pardoned people who had life sentences, pardoned people who had 20-year sentences for crimes that they committed on January 6th when they stormed the Capitol, all on TV, all on camera for everybody to see. He'd have let these people out of jail, which they did that in the sake of his name, by the way, too. Mass deportation, illegal immigrants. I see they arrested 308 people just yesterday. They coming to get you in your school. They coming to get you at church. You know, now's the time you may want to get with an immigration attorney if you ain't got your paperwork right and you're not a citizen. You may want to get with an immigration attorney ASAP. Created the ERS, External Revenue Service, trying to shut down the IRS. Got rid of EEOC. This is all in the first 48 hours. Strap your boots up. This is going to be a wild 4 years, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's going to be a wild 4 years. And
So if
I'm
the
with you.
external, that mean we ain't got to pay the internal? What that mean?
External mean all the goods we got coming in from, well, any goods that we import out.
They gonna put a tariff on them.
He gonna tax. He gonna tax. Yeah. So, you know, it's interesting to see how far Trump can get with these policies because I thought it was checks and balances to this government. So maybe the judicial system or the legislation system will have something to say about these things he's doing. But right now, he writing executive order after executive order. So,
Buddy wasn't even looking up when he was signing. He wasn't even. It was weird. He wasn't looking up and he wasn't looking down because he wasn't reading what he was signing. You
come on
feel me?
now.
I think he was just signing anything that was put in front of him, man. So, you know, like I say, man, you got to be able to adjust to what's going on and still benefit. You can't get stuck in a rut. You know.
Speaking of adjusting, some adjusting going on around here locally too, man, with the pass of the Proposition R. Proposition R is the City of Dallas ordinance that decriminalize marijuana, up to 4 ounces of marijuana in the City of Dallas. What's your thoughts on that, YD?
I think it's a good thing. I think that we need to be cautious though, because you know how people are, specifically our people. Oh, we legal now? It's not legal. It's not legal. And I know the word decriminalize is kind of tricky, right? But what that means is they're not going to arrest you for it. They're not going to arrest you for up to what, 4 ounces?
Up to 4 ounces.
Up to 4 ounces. You know, that's a quarter of a QP. You understand? You don't really need much more than that. If you got more than that, then this ain't for you. You understand what I'm saying? I think that, well, firstly, let me caution you guys. You can still be arrested for having weed in the car. Let me tell you how. If you have weed with a gun, anytime contraband is coupled with a gun, right? Any kind of contraband is coupled with a gun. Even, I mean, I've seen people, you'll get a UCW. I've seen people get UCWs and it was just residue.
Blunt. Yeah.
A doobie and a gun will get you a UCW. You understand what I'm saying? So don't be out here willy-nilly, you know, looking a fool because you think that you can't be arrested at all. Yes, you can be arrested. If you got a gun next to the weed, in the vicinity of the weed, in the same car as the weed, then the weed is going to be coupled with the gun and you're going to get a UC and they'll be able to arrest you. All right?
And make no doubt about it, man. You also can't ride and smoke. Be smart. Be smart. Even though they changed it, and what I like most about the Proposition R is that they getting rid of the plain smell doctor.
Correct.
Now, that don't mean when a law pull you over, you could be smoking. But what that means is if they smell marijuana, they no longer can use that as probable cause
To
to
search.
search or use that as probable cause to arrest. And that's huge. That's huge. That has a lot of ramifications on how officers would get an in to search your car. All they got to
Exactly.
say is they smell marijuana, and then they search
Exactly.
your car. Well,
That's what
that's
they
no
used to do.
longer an in to searching your car in the city of Dallas. Now, let's be smart about that. Again, you can't be riding and smoking. How we put us somewhere if you ride with it, and don't have a gun when you riding with it. Okay.
You know, and understand that's what police used to do, and that's what they still do. You know how there was a lot of police there was a lot of police shootings, right? Okay. Well, I'm sure you noticed after a while, it seemed like every officer knew to use a certain type of jargon, right? Every officer knew to say, I felt that my life was in imminent danger. Let me tell you something. Unless you're an attorney, a practicing attorney, a judge, or you don't use the word imminent danger. You don't say that. You know what I'm saying? You say, I felt threatened, but the law uses that language. So the police caught on, oh, I was in imminent danger. And what imminent means is right now.
Right.
Right now. It don't mean, oh, you took my lunch. Okay, meet me at the school, the flagpole at 3 p.m. I'm going to beat you up at 3 p.m. after school. That's not imminent. Imminent is right now.
Right
You
now.
see what I'm saying? So that means I felt like my life was in danger right then and there at that moment, so I reacted. So understand, the same way the police picked up on that and they began to drop their jargon every time they were questioned about shooting an unarmed black man, they picked up on the fact that all they needed to do was smell weed in order to search your car. You have no idea how many cases I've had where a car was searched and wasn't no weed found.
Right.
A
Right.
car was searched because the cops said that they smelled weed and there was no weed in the car.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? On top of that, my client telling me, bro, I'm not no crash dummy. I don't smoke. I mean, people lie, but I don't smoke in the car. Or, hey, I hadn't smoked in my car in a week and a half. I know it ain't smell like weed. Or here's the one I love. I just had vacuumed my car out. I know it wasn't no weed in the car. So I know it ain't smell like weed. I just had sprayed you feel me? In the car, hung the
tree up.
Yeah, hung my tree up that they gave me on my dash, you know.
Yeah.
So understand that's probably the biggest advantage to this is that they can no longer backdoor a probable cause search. And by backdoor, I mean just come up with a reason to do it, right?
Yeah. Now,
you
there
know,
are
they
two
pull you over
exceptions
for
to that.
speed and all of a sudden, oh, have you been smoking, sir? Step out the car. You see what I'm saying? That was the play. That was a
That was a
play.
play.
So
That
that's the best part about all this. It ain't that they ain't arresting you for the weed. That's cool. But the biggest part of it is they can't tell you to step out the car and search a car simply off the basis of smelling that weed. Now, there's a couple of exceptions that Mike want to tell y'all about, though.
There's two exceptions to that rule, and one of it is if you were involved in a high profile drug bust, meaning if you coming for the spot, you know what I'm saying, they've been watching the spot,
Right,
you coming for
surveilling.
the spot, then the smell of marijuana will get them probable cause to search if you coming for the spot. That's the totality of the circumstance situation. If you get arrested under those circumstances, get you a good lawyer. The other one exception is if you have just committed or in the process of committing a violent felony. If you commit a violent felony, the smell of weed will get them probable cause to search your car. They're probably looking for weapons. They're probably looking for any evidence to show that crime was committed. But the smell of weed is gonna get them in on those two exceptions. So people, with anything else, just be smart. Now, Ken Paxton, the OAG of Texas Attorney General, is suing the city of Dallas because of Proposition R and the passing of decriminalization, just like he's suing the other cities in Texas, Austin, Houston, etc. He's gonna lose that lawsuit. I don't even know why he's wasting his time. I mean, from my understanding, about 80% of America smokes marijuana. In other states, it's legal. Those states are benefiting off the revenue that they making from marijuana. Texas needs to get with the program.
He need a suite. That's all.
Yeah. Yeah,
The
yeah,
black
he
he need a
smoking.
back.
Yeah,
He need a back. That's all.
come on now,
You know,
come
somebody
on
need to
now.
pull up on them and smoke them out.
You
That's
got
it.
states building new roads, building new schools off the basis of marijuana,
All
and
off the
Texas still
ganja.
want to lock your ass up for
Come on now.
it. Yeah, that's crazy.
What you say? We was the last state to free the slaves, so we'll probably be the last state to
I keep
legalize
saying
weed
that, man.
and do
We,
everything else. That's deep
I'll
though.
keep the
That's
slaves in
deep.
Texas are free 2 years later. It's gonna be about 10 years after all the other states legalize marijuana. We'll finally get there. I know our boy Wheels got to be out of the office before we can get it. But you go over to Louisiana,
That
go
boy
on to
said
any other state,
wheels.
man. You can smoke your blunt going into the casino.
Nah,
That's
for
all I got to
real.
say.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I think Wheels might need a sweet too. Maybe we get him and Kim Paxton in there and just
Get them
blaze them
all
both up.
sweeter.
Yeah, just get them
Get them
going.
all sweeter.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Tell them ease up, son.
Come on, man.
Nah, man. But we appreciate y'all bearing with us on the technical difficulties of this show. Any last words, Drew?
Man, I'm glad to be here, man. It's been a long time coming. It's something that we've been talking about for a while. Hopefully we can get a solid following. We do plan to enlighten y'all and impart nothing but wisdom and knowledge. We'll be talking about different things like fatherhood or the difficulties of fatherhood. We'll be talking about the delicacies of fatherhood. May get a little biblical on you, maybe getting that word a little bit. We'll be talking about current events. I mean, we always gonna talk about the law, but y'all might get tired of hearing that after a while. So we're gonna mix it up. We're gonna make it fun. Sooner or later, we're gonna figure out how to have y'all ask questions and we'll answer the questions. Just tune in, man, and bear with us. This is our first episode. We ain't gonna cut nothing. We gonna roll with it. All right. And sooner or later, we'll have this thing down to a science. Big Trip.
Yeah, we'll
Shout out to
figure it
Trip,
out like
our
anything
producer.
else in life. Yeah, man. I just want to say, we appreciate y'all checking us out, trying to get this camera right. We're gonna have this thing down to a science by like the 10th episode. Get it, like my boy say, give that black owned business another chance.
Come on now.
I just want to say, man, when it comes to, helping my people out, we just got to be smart in how we operate out here in this society, man. I had a lady in front of a judge today. Judge answered her questions, and she just want to answer them questions right. You know what I'm saying? For example, she asked, how old are your kids? She gave her the age, and she said, well, my 16-year-old is not in school. But really didn't have no explanation of why the 16-year-old wasn't in school. Now, I could tell that irritated judge. I just want y'all to think about what y'all doing out here. Ain't no reason a 16-year-old shouldn't be in school. They call them YNs. The YNs need all the school they need, bro, because they're a wild generation. But, I just want my people to know, whenever you talking to someone of that type of authority, a judge, just think it all the way through, because your answers matter. And it ain't
And
gonna
I'm
right for
gonna
my
keep it
client.
funky though, because you putting it on the client, and I feel you. But these judges are human beings. Okay, I'm trying to. These judges are human beings too. They ain't perfect, but judges, it's a certain thing as judicial temperament, man.
Oh yeah.
The judiciary requires y'all to have judicial temperament, man. To be impartial and fair. All that yelling and waving your thing around so people can see how big it is. I'm gonna keep it solid, man. It's a podcast, fam. That's played out, bro. It's played out. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gotta treat a person like they less than you because you sitting up on that bench, man. That's whack. You feel me? And that's why you probably won't hear many judges talk nice about me. Because I don't play like that. You see what I'm saying? I come in there to defend my client. If you right, you right. If you wrong, you wrong. You see, I mean, I got judges I like. I got judges that showed me some love coming up, that show me love to this day. Yeah. And I honestly think that Dallas County is probably the best place if you're going before a judge. But it's a couple of them. Y'all need to check yourself, man, and maintain y'all judicial temperament. Because y'all act like everybody in the courtroom got to have class but you. And that ain't cool, man. And I really want to say it a different way. Understand, you might even like how I'm saying it right now, but this the best I can do. It's the best I can do. You feel me, Mike? You know, judicial temperament is something that's required by you. You're supposed to be here. You ain't supposed to be here. No matter if the doorknob hit you with a dog shit have bit you, no matter if it rained on your nice heels. Yeah, bro.
Yes,
let me chill. You know what I'm saying? Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, that's a whole other conversation.
We gonna end it on that note.
Yeah, we gonna end it on that.
We gonna save some of that juice for the next shot.
We always respect your position. That's biblical. You a judge. So it's your honor. It's yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. No, sir. Yes. All that come with it. But judicial temperament's supposed to come with it too. So I'm gonna leave it at that.
Hey, take heed, man. Not guilty, boys. We'll see y'all on the next episode. Check it out.
Yes, sir. The Not Guilty Boys with a Z. We'll have a lot of content for y'all. Hopefully, you know, this content is something that you would like to subscribe to. But we appreciate y'all being here, man. We'll see y'all next episode. Peace.